Hello, everybody. And today we're going to just jump straight on into this thing. I want to talk about the narrative that is going around far as Dash, Diddy, right? And I am one that have done exposures on her, and I have been doing exposures on this woman since last year. I did take a brief break on doing these exposures because it just became overwhelming just by her behavior alone. And then I picked back up the end of last year, the beginning of January of this year. And I stayed with it because I felt like I wanted to bring awareness to the people that were being taken advantage of by some of the stuff that she was doing, because some of the stuff she was doing was wrong, right? And there's no denying that. There is no trying to cover up for that. Just simply, it was what it was. Now, a lot of stuff when we were bringing this to people's attention was a lot of stuff had happened in the past that she had did. Well, major stuff happened in the past, and then there was stuff that she was actually continuing to do on the platform. But when someone recognizes their mistake and they try to make a change, this is where I split. Because if somebody is going to make a change or try to do for the better, then you must allow them to do so. Just because they don't choose to run off this platform because you want them to, is beyond crazy to me. Everybody deserves a second chance. Now, this is where you shouldn't be passing judgment on someone. Not that what they're currently doing is wrong, and then you bring an awareness for it. But when a person tries to make a change, and whether or not they change something that they're trying to do the way you want them to try to do it, then or whether or not they're just making a change on how they see to make the change for themselves. As just being a human being with some type of sensitivity to just people in general, regardless if the person at one point did wrong, right? If a person did wrong and they've been exposed for their wrongdoing and they are remorseful for what they did, then there's something called a second chance, another chance. Because a lot of y'all out here, including myself, on various things throughout life, probably have been given multiple times. So to act like, once forgiven, you can't never forgive again, and to hold that stance, you're wrong. Because now this is where that comes in at. If there is nothing that a person is doing wrong, and really, let's really look at the scams that she's being accused of currently for doing. What are the scams exactly? The scams are she was doing shout outs, paying for people for $25. Now, me and myself personally, I don't see where it'll benefit someone for paying for them to shout you out. But what she did was no different than anybody that was asking for cash apps to be sent to their cash apps. Now, what I saw it wrong was just simply promising people that you could get them people to like their channel or subscribe to their channel. That is something that you cannot do, okay? So that's the part of the scamming part of the $25 shout outs. But let's really dig into the $25 shout outs. If she's being upfront and honest to people, that all I can really do is just mention your name on this platform and just show you in front of my audience, which I saw a video where she actually recently did that. And all she said was, by shouting you out, I will put you in front of my people that I have. And whether you think it's the whole 76,000 or whether you think it's 2,000 or 1,000, that really doesn't matter. She's just presenting it the correct way. So one of the scams that you're claiming that she has is out of the picture. Currently, right now, she's not scamming because she ain't telling absolutely nobody that they can guarantee absolutely anything. So one of the scams are gone, right? Let's dig into the channel review. Okay, so at one point she was saying pay her $200 for a channel review, and me personally, I felt like that was just a glorified shout out, right? But the people that she's doing it for, they like it, right? So the concept of a a review, channel review, people like. Now, whether or not she was giving them great advice or not, that's up for the person that's actually purchasing it. As long as you're not misleading them in the information that you're giving them. Now, if the information is valid, the information is valid. For whomever she's giving it to. My issue with the whole $200 review has always been that you really can't tell a person what's going on with their channel just by simply looking at a couple of videos or whatnot, because you have to understand the behavior of people, as well as you have to understand what is going behind as far as their data, their analytics, to really see what's going on. Now, just simply glancing over people's stuff, you can see sometimes a lot of the things is they're just not being consistent with uploading videos. Point blank, period. That's what a big major part is. The second major part is a lot of people really don't understand the system. And some people that are spreading all this narratives around here, they are stuck in the old system, right? They're literally stuck in the old system. Their mind can't get out of the old system, right? And even though you see growth on their channel, the only reason that you're seeing growth on their channel is because they have multiple channels, which, by the way, they claim they don't never tell people to go to the channel. However, every single video, they talk about their particular channels that they have. And on videos, use other channels as an example. So whether or not you're telling them to physically go there or not, or you're just mentioning in your videos, you are directing the traffic to your videos. But you want everybody else to create channels under different niches and tell absolutely nobody about them. But yet you yourself are telling everybody about them. And we all know who I'm talking about, because ain't no secret. Because once again, like I said, if I'm talking about somebody, I'm going to say who it is. And that's old syndicated media TV. You're absolutely wrong for doing that. How can you tell somebody what not to do, but you yourself are doing it? And then you're going against somebody who looks like at this particular time is trying to make a change. So let's even dabble on there. Okay, so it came out that she had 3 channels. I personally only knew about 2 of the channels she had. But from what I can see, from a person that looks like they're trying to make a change, she deleted anything on the DoDash Word and DoDash channel that will mislead anybody into thinking anything that was wrong. So where is the problem now? Because she has 3 channels. I'm sorry, sir, you have 5 channels that you constantly drill in people's mind when you're doing your video. And this is where I have a problem with people masking and acting like it's something that it's not, when really it is. It's simply, you were not doing exposure videos. You saw that people were doing this. It was not that you just want to join in on the bandwagon and help the people. You, sir, was trying to get views on this particular channel, because that channel that you're using right now was not getting the views that before you started talking about DoorDash. So let's just go ahead and put it out there. If we're going to expose her for what she was doing at one point, we have to expose what you're doing as well. It wasn't like you was just following her the whole time and talking about it. And the reason I know this is because every single chance that you get, you try to convince your audience that you was watching the whole time, but you just didn't want to do nothing, because once you jump on something, you're going to jump on it hard. Well, sorry, if you were there for the people, you should have jumped on it back then and worked equally as hard as everybody else did when they was trying to expose this thing. Now you jumped on it at the end, where she finally is starting to see maybe she has some issues. Maybe she needs to correct some things, right? But instead of just letting it go and see where she's going to go, you are literally, now I'm going to say this, you are literally billing this woman for absolutely nothing. You have to give her an opportunity to make the change. You have to. And let's be real, some habits and some things that people do take them years to get over. Some habits, because we as humans are habitual people. We're people of habit. We're people that once we get set into doing something, it's just that we continually do it until it comes to a light that we have to change, right? So nobody's taking away from the fact that this woman has done some things that's just not right. But right now, currently, what is she doing far as taking advantage of people? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing that this woman is doing other than making videos. You want to talk about this woman weight loss program, but she did lose weight. Now, whether or not she lost all the weight just by exercising herself, that's not the issue here. The issue is she's speaking on something that she did, right? She's speaking on something that she did, and she's talking about what she did. So, sir, why is that bothering you so bad that this woman is talking about what she did? She ain't scamming nobody because she created a course or something to talk about it or whatever. Just because she did that and charged her $25. Now, I myself mentioned it as coincidental about $25, okay? But then after it was brought back to her attention, what did she do? She said, whatever you want to give me. Doesn't that seem like to you, sir, she is trying to make a change? It might not be the change that you want, but see, you're so hell-bent on trying to get this woman off this platform because you yourself is using this as an opportunity to try to boost your channel that was failing before you started talking on her. Let's just be real. It was not doing absolutely nothing on your channel before you start addressing this woman, period. All right? And hey, when you was on it at that particular point. We all was on it, talking about it. And collectively, everybody probably got her to see what was going on. Not just me, not just Carter when he was doing his stuff, not just Slash and React, not sir, just you. You can sit up here and say all day long that you feel like it's your videos that made her come to this conclusion. But sir, you literally, sir, just started doing this. So it's all the stuff that everybody's been doing that on top of what's currently going on now, whatever she got going on inside her is allowing her to see the light. Now, see, what a person like you would do would push a person back to just doing it because they will feel like they damn if they do and they damn if they don't. And I'm really starting to get ticked off about that because you're literally bullying this woman, point blank period, all for views and all for money. You can act like all day long it's not about views and money. Oh, but you just accidentally showed your money on your other channel that you was making a certain amount. Come on, y'all. If y'all can't see past this bull, I don't know what else is going on. If you can't see past what this man is doing, I do not know what, okay? Give her a chance. If she goes back and she starts scamming, then go back and talking about her. Well, just like when I was talking about Dante, and I was saying that he can make a change. He can turn this around when everybody was telling this young man that he couldn't. What I saw in him was strictly just a young man that did not know how to handle all that kind of money because he never really had it. And so the fame just literally went to his head. That's all it was. And once he got himself together, now the other moral stuff, the other stuff that he be doing, he got to get some help with. But far as the channel, that man he was trying to help other people do what he did, and he himself did not know what caused him to blow up, just like she probably didn't know what was causing herself to blow up. Let me tell y'all something. It was one video that she made when she said the algorithm hated her, and I did that little skit and I thought about it. I was like, well, that, in her mind, that could be what's going on in her mind, that the algorithm hated her, right? It wasn't that the algorithm hated you. It's just that the algorithm changed. So when all this stuff was going on, the algorithm was literally changing from a people-driven algorithm to an AI algorithm. And if she doesn't know what's going on, and matter of fact, I'm sitting here telling people that it's happening, nobody believing what I'm saying, right? And if nobody explains this to her, all she's thinking is, oh, I blew up because I did some stuff in my past, it's not working, I can't figure out what's going on. No, that's why in a lot of my videos where I was explaining as far as bringing awareness, and people was coming at me, calling me a hater, I'm like, no, because if you really watch the video, you would see I'm trying to tell her what's going on and why her channel is taking a nosedive, and she can change it around. See, I honestly believe when it came to Dante, it was his mama that really got him to make that change. That conversation that he had with his mom. But because DoorDash was so fixated with the fame that she had without realizing what was going on, she was trying to give him message of what she really truly thought was going on. That forget what everybody else say. You got to show people this. You got to show people that. You got to show people money. You got to show people how to live their life. No, you do not have to show people to live your life above your means. Absolutely not. You do not have to do that. Show people who you are, where you're at. And for the ones that think that, for the ones that make you believe that you got to have this and you got to have that in order for them to watch you, then guess what? They're not your audience. Those are not the people that you need. So, once again, I ain't on nobody's bandwagon other than the truth. But when I see what's going on, I'm going to address what's going on. And personally, I don't care who likes it or who do not. You can kiss somebody behind all day long if you want to. But me personally, I do not kiss anybody's butt. I just say it for what it is. And because they're making jokes and laughing about it or whatever, they're just sucking you in like a freaking cult. No different from the cult that was following her when she was doing her wrongdoing. Y'all are following this man as a cult without looking at the full truth. Now, if there was no hidden agenda on his part, then it would be a little bit different. But there is, because the moment he stopped talking about DoorDash, his views tanked. Why? Because he ain't talking about nothing else. It's not the season for football. He'll kick back in on football. But see, he tried to jump into the YouTube scenario to talk about YouTube, but a lot of stuff that he's talking about when it comes to YouTube is for the old system, not the new system. So a lot of stuff that he's giving you is not valid. All right. Just like she doesn't know it's not valid until they get their mind from stuck in that old freaking system and really seeing what's going on. Yeah, you could talk to people about their channels and give them channel reviews and stuff like that. But if you're not back in their analytics, doing the one-on-one, and you don't have the correct information about the new system, guess what? It's not going to work. Sure, his channel is going to continue to grow. This man got a total of 5 channels, y'all. That's why he's constantly talking about them. Whether or not he come back and try to clear it up with y'all to make it seem like it's not, that's exactly why he is talking about these channels, because he's migrating. Just like the old system used to migrate people from one group to the next. So it was just basically telling you to stick with a niche. Because as they migrate, matter of fact, look at the old videos about how the algorithm works. It'll show you how the people were being migrated and herded from one place to the next. But it does not work on this system the way it is. Everybody is in their own personal box. And who is in their box with them? Their subscribers. That's why if your subscribers are not watching your videos, a good amount of them, it will not push it out into the algorithm. And so I keep telling you, no matter how many subscribers, you can have 1 million subscribers, but you're going to see a person with 1 million subscribers only getting about 2,000 or 3,000 views on that particular video for the first 24 to 48 hours. Then as long as it stays, as long as people consistently go back to them later on, the views will change. It's going straight across the board. It got absolutely nothing to do with, that about her past or whatever. No, all that's doing is bringing awareness to people about what's going on. But if this woman is sitting here trying to make a change, you let her make a change. Don't down her freaking channel talking about she ain't gonna hit bottom and she'll never come back up. No, because you don't know that, sir. Because you can, once everybody really starts seeing you for what you really on this platform to do, yours can tank out. Then what you gonna do? Start another channel? Who want to keep doing that? Even you, who wants to keep doing that? No, especially if that does not really work anymore. But continue on, do whatever you need to do for you, but stop misleading these people. Stop misleading these people to think that this woman is continuing to scam people, because I find it crazy that she was doing channel reviews, and I even told you, sir, this channel reviews that really doesn't make any sense. It really don't. It's more one-on-one. I told you this, syndicated TV, and then what did you do? You basically take what she started talking about Forest channel reviews. And I'm not saying she's the only one that started talking about channel reviews, because you always kind of point out what vidIQ do. But what vidIQ does is just basically give a general, and then they teach a class, and then they offer courses. That's what they do. So syndicated media TV, if you're going to be like vidIQ, then I guess you're going to do the same thing. Offer it for free, then try to get them on the back end, on a one-on-one through their emails, to try to get them to do a one-on-one. Now, whatever your courses cost, we won't know because you're not advertising it. But she was willing to advertise hers without really know how it worked. So you're literally doing the same thing she's doing, but because you feel like you got 5 channels and you're just so freaking qualified to tell people what is what, and you try to put everything down about people that may not know as much as you. But guess what? Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Okay? But give this woman a freaking chance. I'm trying to see where she's scamming as of right now. Where is the scams? And where are you? Why are you so adamant about tearing down her channel? My stance has never been to tear down this woman's channel. My stance has always been, you're a great motivator. Figure out what you want to do, make your right wrongs, and continue on and propel. Because once she finally get that in her freaking head, she's going to skyrocket over anything, sir, that you have done thus far. And maybe that is what is mind-boggling to you. Maybe that is what you're trying to stop her from doing, because you don't want nobody over you. And you're just presenting it to the people one way when really it's not, right? So, like I said, I'm saying maybe on this, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say maybe, since everybody want to take things so literally like he does. And what y'all don't know is, even though that first video I made was not about him, it was just about a collection of people or whatever that was going on, and he came on Clones TV to talk, and they let him talk and said his piece. Who followed him after that? Carter. And he broke every goddamn thing down, saying how he's just talking and he's feeding people a whole bunch of crap, and SkitLanta just see through his bull. That's all that is. Okay, so how can this man, just by listening to him that one time, because he really don't even listen to syndicated media TV, tell the whole goddamn platform what was going on? But see, some people get mad. They don't care if it's the truth or not. They just like a person, and then they're just going to go with whatever they're going with. But yet, while you're sitting here studying, trying to break down someone, please show me where the scam is. Talk about the actual scam that's going on, because currently right now, there is none. There is no scam that this woman is doing. She's trying to move to Dallas. Okay, she's trying to move to Dallas. So I see her doing DoorDash. I see her doing her videos. I see her offering the weight loss, whether or not they purchases and or whatever. Where is the freaking scam? Where is the scam? Because she want to move to Dallas, because she's out there doing DoorDash. Well, look at here. Like I said to you plenty times before, syndicated media TV, a lot of stuff you say don't even first make any business sense. All right, but yet you pulling all this stuff out to the people. Anybody in business know, until you get to a certain point, you don't take away any income. You keep all the income that you can, because the more income that you have, the faster you will grow. So the fact that you're sitting at your house, as you quote unquote say, in the basement, in the basement while she out here working, but then kind of double back and say ain't nothing wrong with doing stuff in the basement. But yet you're trying to point that out, that this woman is out here still working, even though her channel blew up. So what? Anybody will tell you a viral video, just because it goes viral, does not mean that you're going to just take off and be taken off from there on. No, you have to learn how to ride that viral wave. Matter of fact, I even made a video about it, talking about how to handle your channel once you catch a wave. I made one in the old system, and I made one in the current system. Literally give this woman a chance, point blank, period. That's all I'm saying. Give her a chance. And then if she blows it, then talk about what she blowed. Then offer some type of solution. But can you offer a solution if you really don't know what's going on your darn self, sir? That's the part I'm talking about. But anyway, like, I'm gonna go ahead, because I'm still trying to figure out. This is where people say you're hating. This is hate, because right now you got really nothing to go on, but yet you're still trying to drag somebody's name down in the ground when they are trying to make somewhat of a change. But what's going to happen is you're going to keep bullying this person until they feel like they ain't got no choice but to revert back to what they were doing. And then guess what? We can thank you for that. We'll pull out the bat signal and send it your way to let you know that instead of helping somebody, you took the route of trying to tear them down. As always, be your brothers and sisters keeper. Keep God first, y'all. I'm not with the bull, y'all. And toodle.